Hey, my name's Leslie Morris, and today we're going to be looking at Behemoth. Behemoth is made by the good folks at Syfy Films. Syfy have the amazing ability to make films that seem to revolve around one element, such as a monster or some kind of eco-disaster, but in reality this element is completely arbitrary, and their films play out exactly the same. Now, I'm going to compare some of this film to their previous outing, which was Icequake, just to show you. Just like with Icequake, this film starts with two stock-standard scientists talking about some kind of scientific mystery. The job of these scientists isn't to work out what's actually going on, but to show the audience the central dilemma of the film and to die in the process. The scientists discover mysterious killer smoke. They try to escape and die in the process. Before the scientist dies, he drops his science bag, which no doubt will come in useful later. From there we meet workmen. A branch falls down and kills one of them, and Token Male wants to work out what did it. Just like in Icequake, a shot reveals the female scientist who's doing science. As she's the lead character, she's already well aware of the central dilemma. Just like in Icequake, she wants to go up to the mountain to do extra science work and to find out what's going on. Okay, I'll stop with the comparisons as you get the idea. She also tells non-sexual science sidekick that the town sheriff is her uncle. Town sheriff talks to Token Male about the workman's accident. From there, Token Male goes to his father's house, and we find out that his dad is just a little obsessed with monsters. Who can blame the man, really? Token Male's unmedicated father is the crazy scientist character that knows way more about the monsters than anyone else in the film. Token Male's token sister wants to go camping in the mountain. Token Male advises her against it. She goes anyway. Random character gets attacked by the killer smoke. Token Male drops off crazy scientist to the local diner, and on his way he runs into female scientist. It turns out they already know each other. It seems that female scientist loves science so much she wears her white lab coat everywhere she goes. Crazy scientist fills in the waitress and the audience about the central premise of the film.
This is a creature the Mayans believed lurked in the underworld and would one day rise up and exact revenge on the society.
From there, a random man walks into the darkness, and the killer smoke kills him. The next morning, female scientist goes up to the mountain to do science, and we find out she's got an unprecedented scientific problem on her hands. She then runs into Token Male and local sheriff, who also just happen to be on the mountain. She tells him about her science problem. The local sheriff doubts her. Token sister and Token boyfriend go up the mountain. Female scientist and Token Male talk about their scientific problem and how it's getting more complicated.
Okay, what would cause that? You don't know. And you're heading back up the mountain to figure it out.
Yeah.
And you want me to go with you?
No.
Lie! She really likes him, but she's hard-headed and needs to show him that she doesn't really need a man in her life, but we all know she does. Token Male runs into male scientist in the exact same place he ran into female scientist. Male scientist wants Token Male to lead him up the mountain so he can do science. How convenient for the plot. Non-sexual science sidekick tells female scientist that their scientific problem is now even more complicated and global. Yes, that thing that's going to destroy their small town is now going to destroy the entire world. Crazy scientist tries to convince local sheriff of his crazy ideas. The sheriff doubts him. He comes down on him like a bag of bricks and basically says if he doesn't get back onto his medication, he's going to lock him up. I found this scene to be a little rough. The sheriff is quite hard on him. I guess unconventional scientific ideas is a big problem in their small town, and he needs to come down on it hard. Meanwhile, back up in the mountain, and female scientist runs into them. How small is this mountain, really? This is the second time she's done this. She tells them that the mountain is about to erupt. Male scientist still wants to go up. Crazy scientist solves his crazy science problem. Token boyfriend proposes to Token sister. Before she can say no, the monster is revealed. Well, parts of it. Female scientist talks to local sheriff at the same bit of curb. He doubts her findings. Like, seriously, What is going on here? Doesn't this sheriff have an office? It seems like he's working solely out of the diner. And why is he doubting everyone's scientific findings? What qualifications does he have? Even the crazy scientist has a better grasp of the issues than him. And on top of that, why do all the characters in this town have so many conversations on this one bit of curb? Anyway, local sheriff begrudgingly agrees to evacuate the town. Luckily, the town barely has 30 people living there. Crazy scientist tells them that token daughter/sister is on the mountain. She could be anywhere. But I'm pretty confident they're going to run into her without too much trouble. I need to note that this conversation takes place on the same bit of curb. Crazy scientist agrees to stay with his family out of town, but goes to the diner instead to get the waitress. As this being the smallest mountain in the world, they just happen to run into male scientist. The monster attacks them, and male scientist dies. There's an earthquake, and the diner goes under.
My dad was right. He told me that a monster was going to destroy the world.
Token daughter/sister realizes her dad was right all along. Not so crazy scientist and waitress are taken down under the earth. We manage to get a peek at the monster's tentacle. Have you ever heard that phrase that less is more? How about this? In the world of sci-fi original films, less is less. Much less. Token male gets the science bag from the start of the film. Token sister and token boyfriend almost fall into a hole, but the monster pumps out. And it looks pretty good. Token boyfriend falls down and we assume he gets eaten. We don't know as we never see it. Token male comes in and saves her, and the monster retreats for no reason. Not so crazy scientist and waitress escape the diner and this pointless subplot, Die Hard style. Back on the mountain, we finally get to see the monster. You know, I'm not sure it was worth waiting an hour and 14 minutes to see it, but it's cool nonetheless. If you're like me around this point, you're wondering, how on earth are they going to kill it? I really hope there's a proton energy pack in that science bag. Well, close enough. Token daughter/sister has a flashback to this conversation.
Fired an arrow down her throat, slit her heart in two.
And she works out how to kill it. Now, I actually find this plot point to be a little odd. Normally in these films, the scientist has one piece of specialized scientific information that enables them to save the day. And, well, female scientist just brings nothing to the table in regards to science. Her character could have been a park ranger, a university lecturer, or a newspaper reporter, and the film would have played out exactly the same. And now I think about it, why on earth did the scientists at the start of the film even need that gun? What type of science were they doing? Oh, that's right, no one cares. The monster dies, everyone lives, the movie's over.